Welcome to Tech Blueprint, a window that lets you know the latest technology news in the world. Under Biden's new round of sanctions, 140 Chinese companies were added to the blacklist, and China quickly launched controls on rare metals, which plunged the global market into chaos. Amid complaints from European, American, Japanese and Korean companies, the attitude of the U.S. Commerce Minister became erratic. At the beginning of the month, Raimondo made a strong statement in response to the abnormal attitude of the outside world: everything must be listened to by us. The chip rules were launched to counter Chinese companies from obtaining American technology from other countries. If you feel that your profits have been violated, you can only bear it. I never thought that before this month, Raimondo's attitude had taken a big turn. According to news on December 22, Raimondo responded in an interview with the Wall Street Journal: "The United States is wasting its efforts in trying to stop China in the chip competition." Just this sentence, Biden and Trump's 5 years of efforts have been in vain, but obviously from the moment the Kirin 9000S returned, the so-called chip rules of the United States have been completely invalid. After the United States shifted its focus to the AI level, China directly launched an antitrust investigation against NVIDIA. This operation can be said to have caught the United States off guard. But obviously, with the usual style of the United States, it is impossible to put down the face to compromise. But after China played the trump card of rare earths, it seems that everything has been determined. This time it is not the turn of the United States to hesitate. Japan and the Netherlands, which signed the tripartite agreement, have already regretted and publicly responded that they will no longer follow the U.S. ban. At the level of rare earths, China is deterrent. According to statistics in 2023, China's total rare earth mineral output is 240,000 tons, accounting for 68.6% of the world's rare earth minerals, and the proportion of core rare golds such as gallium and germanium even exceeds this number. Europe, the United States, Japan and South Korea simply cannot find alternative manufacturers, so China's new regulations are undoubtedly a fatal blow. The new regulations are obviously aimed at the United States. According to the announcement, in principle, gallium, germanium, graphite, and other related dual-use materials are not allowed to be shipped to the United States. Strict review will be implemented when necessary to track the final users and users. This regulation is effective for all countries, which is equivalent to directly locking the United States' backdoor path. It should be noted that China supplied 70% of the world's germanium in 2023, and at the same time, the gallium production capacity directly exceeded 90%. Which can be said to be completely in a monopoly situation. The impact of this on the United States science and technology field is obvious, but the United States has always been unwilling to admit that it is wrong due to face issues. However, The recent British Financial Times published the results of the investigation, which directly tore off the United States' fig leaf. The Financial Times said, as early as November this year, the United States Geological Survey issued a warning that China's ban on the export of gallium and germanium may cause the United States to suffer direct losses of $3.4 billion and will also cause the chain effect of supply chain obstruction. At worst, it will cause indirect losses of $9 billion in car manufacturing. The Financial Times believes that under the U.S. chip rules, China is forced to be further self-sufficient. After the restrictions on rare metals are launched, the United States will be powerless. After the United States launched the ban, China immediately proposed a goal of 70% chip self-sufficiency, which is now very successful. According to statistics, China's total chip shipments in the first 3 quarters of 2024 reached $115.3 billion, surpassing South Korea for the first time, which directly established China's international status, which means that China cannot be restricted by the United States in the field of mature processes. ASML has previously admitted that using DUV lithography machines of 2000 I and above, there is a way to achieve 7 nanometers, or even 5 nanometers chip manufacturing. But the premise is to ignore cost and yield rate. But now it is at a critical stage of getting rid of US technology. All of this is not a problem for us. The Sino-US chip war has escalated, and China's rare earth control has caused heavy losses to the United States. The results of the UK's public investigation have revealed the US fig leaf. China's chip self-sufficiency rate has increased significantly. Its international status has been established, and US restrictions have become invalid. What do you think of this?